welcome to Dark Cloud. If there was ever a game that said nostalgia for me, this is definitely one of the big ones. This was one that I played a lot growing up, and I recently played through it, and I decided I wanted to get back into Let's Playing. And I decided what better game to get back into it than this one. It's a throwback to games that I played growing up. I recently played through it, and honestly, now that I have a better understanding of the game, it's way more fun now than it was as a kid. If there's one way that I can describe this game, it's definitely a big nod to The Legend of Zelda. There's a lot of similarities between this and Zelda, but there's a lot of distinct differences that I think give it its own charm, is what I'm looking for, I guess. But I don't really see a lot of people talking about this game, unfortunately, and I'm kind of hoping to just bring some light to it, you know? Definitely one thing, I'm sure you've been hearing it in the background here, one thing that is not slacked on in this game at all is the soundtrack. This game, I feel like, has one of the most underrated soundtracks in video game history, honestly. Yeah, this game has some really good tunes in it, and you're gonna hear me compliment them a lot. But without further ado, let's just get started. So we'll go ahead and start a new game here. The book was found in some old ruins. All the scholars who decoded it puzzled over the mystery of the book. A world with 2 moons illuminating the sky. The many dazzling adventures of a young boy. But whether or not this is a true story, do you believe in the story woven in the book? Maybe it's a fantasy that existed only in a boy's heart. Let me tell you this story this ancient book tells of. A magical and magnificent fairy tale. And the hero of this wondrous tale, whose name is... So obviously, like I said, there's a lot of nods to Legend of Zelda. Like Legend of Zelda, you can name your main protagonist. The default name you're given here is Tone. That is the name of our main character, and for the sake of the Let's Play, we're just going to keep it as that. The Dark Shrine. Not gonna lie, the opening cutscene of this game is kind of painfully long, but we'll get through it. We've gathered quite a few of them. I had a hard time finding dancers with the right qualifications. Look at them. Their dance of blood. Mixing the blood of witches with that of humans is the key to breaking the seal. However, I do have some problems. Problems? In order to procure good material, you do need adequate... I see. I'll pay you extra. That should solve your problem, huh? Yes, sir. Thank you. So when will it happen? Very soon, sir. Let us enjoy the ceremony until it is time. flag, sir. Do you know the legend of the Dark Genie sealed in the urn? Of course. How much money do you think I put into acquiring this urn? I've been waiting for years for this, and now its legendary power is ours. I didn't actually see what it is. The text moves a bit too fast, so if I messed up the last few words there, I apologize. 400 years ago, the Genie of Darkness appeared in the east, and with its evil power, the world was burnt away. What do you intend to do with such frightening power in your hands? We'll see. So now is the time. Yes, sir, so it seems. This is the genie? The Dark Genie? Well, it's quite different than I imagined. The ancient Dark Genie? This is it? Hey, who are you guys? Welcome back, Genie of Darkness. I broke the seal and released you. Therefore, I am your master. Oh, is that right? Whatever, fine. Grr, yes, that's right. I haven't eaten for 400 years. Darn, I have to eat something. I need food. Got you. Huh? Stop it! Help! Delicious. Hi, how are you today? Tone, it's already started. Come on, let's go. Tone, it's already started. Come on, let's go. See, I told you you should have hurried. Come on, we're late. I'm a staff member this year, so I have to go. Sorry. Oh, she left you. Tone, hurry up. Everyone's doing a nice sacred dance, and then this guy's just over here flexing. Like, really, dude? Look at the insects squirm about. Start there. Tone. And random look at the camera for some reason. Hi there. Can you hear me? Open your eyes. Wake up. Hey. I am the Fairy King. I am the entity that unites all of nature's spirits. Listen well, young one. Something bad has happened. Men, blinded by greed, have revived the Dark Genie. This Dark Genie is terribly powerful. Its power is so great that it could destroy the entire world. You saw it, your own village being destroyed right before your eyes. Not just your village. In a flash, many villages and towns were destroyed. In one night, half of your world was annihilated. It must be the men from the east that performed the resurrection ceremony. Probably thinking to use its dark demon power for war without realizing how frightening it is. It is darkness, pure darkness itself. Long ago, this so-called Dark Genie almost destroyed the entire world. Its malevolence is that great. The bad thing is that it has the same type of magical power as us spirits. Unfortunately, we aren't powerful enough to destroy it. Young man. I see that you have a strong will that could withstand the evil power, and also a clear, kind heart. You might be able to fight against the darkness it generates. I decided to stake our fate on you. Let me bless you with power. There. Surprised? That's called Atlamilia. It's a stone with a magical power. Oh, don't look that way, boy. I'll explain now. It might get too bright for your eyes for a moment. Do you know where this is? This is no simple empty lot. This was your village. But do not lose heart. As long as you have that stone, you can return it to its original form. You see, just before the village was destroyed by that genie, I saved the buildings and people by sealing them into spheres called Atla. It seems those Atla were scattered all around by its tremendous magical power. They were probably blown to different places around the world. It probably thinks everything is destroyed. You must restore the world before it realizes what happened. Absorb that which I sealed into Atla using that Atlamilia and bring them back. Then you'll be able to restore the world to its original form. You may even be able to create an even better world than before. You don't seem to understand anything I'm saying. Oh well, I'll give you another lesson when you acquire some Atla. So long. Tone, can you hear them? You should be able to hear them. Voices of the wind, voices of the trees, voices of the animals, and the voices of Earth. They are all calling for your help. Tone, you will probably meet and say goodbye to many people. In talking to these people, you may receive clues to defeating the darkness. Look for them. Now, Tone, your adventure will begin. First, go to the village chief's house. He'll show you where to go next. 15 minutes later, and we finally gained control of our character, and we seemed pretty darn happy for someone who just learned his entire village was destroyed overnight. Anyways, we'll do exactly what he just told us, and we'll go ahead and see the village chief. Yep, I just wanted to make sure. There will be, like, secret hidden things around the village as you start restoring stuff, so I just wanted to make sure there was nothing in there. Ah, Tone, you are alive. Seems like we're the only ones in the village that survived. We never dreamt this would happen. One night and our village is gone. Can you believe this, Tone? I feel so helpless. I, the mayor of the village, can't do anything about it. What am I supposed to do? I guess the only thing we can do is to get help from the guardian of the Northern village, Dran. Dran will not abandon us. He'll help us for sure. I have a favor to ask, Tone. Go to the Divine Beast Cave and tell Dran what happened. Divine Beast Cave is the cave outside towards your right-hand side. You've probably seen it before. I may be imagining things, but I sense something has changed about the cave. Be careful. This is the cave key. I put the things you might need in your bag for you. Don't get carried away. If you get in trouble in there, come back here. I'll get you more supplies. Good luck. Alright, let's go ahead and explore the mayor's house a little bit. There's nothing up here. Nothing over here. No. Okay. So, oh. I didn't mean to show that off yet. Oh well. Force of habit. We'll go over that when we actually get to a point where that'll do something. So this gate over here, we can't do anything about it. So where else to go but over here to Divine Beast Cave. So one big thing about this game is it's definitely way more focused on being a dungeon crawler. It honestly gets very repetitive at times, but as long as you don't mind that, this is actually a really, really good game. It's still one of my favorites. Maybe straight dungeon crawlers aren't for you, and maybe that's why you never check this game out, but hey, everyone has their own taste. It's for real this time, Tone. From here on, you will be put to the true test. First, conquer this wretched Divine Beast's cave and find Dran's lair. That's your first goal. Since you're a beginner, I'll give you a lesson on how to fight in the dungeon. First, to advance to the next floor in a dungeon, acquire a gate key for the door leading to the next floor. Each dungeon has a different gate key. For the Divine Beast cave, Dran's crest will be the gate key. Oh, I skipped that text box. I don't believe there's a way to go back to the previous text box. Yep, there's not. Alright, well, I completely skipped that message. Since you can't tell which one has the key, you just have to defeat them all one by one. I'm pretty sure all he was saying was telling us how to attack. Pretty much all you need to do is hit X and you'll swing your sword. Next, I'll tell you about how to return to the ground level, rather than advancing to the floor below. To return to ground level, mind connect with me. In other words, speak with your mind. When you do this, I will transport your body to the ground level. Just select Leave Dungeon from the main menu. But be aware, if there are monsters left on the floor, the mind connect won't work. It will be blocked by their evil energies. In such cases, use the item Escape Powder to get out on your own. Northern Village Chief has lots of it, so be sure to get it before you go. You can also mind connect with me when you go through the gate to the next floor of the dungeon. When you re-enter the dungeon, you can start at the next new level, so you'll have to... Fuck. Sorry about that. Alright. Next, it's on to weapons. Be aware that weapons are breakable. The more you use a weapon, the more it wears, and finally it breaks. Broken weapons will disappear. To prevent weapons from breaking, use the item Repair Powder It will restore their WHP, which is basically means weapon health points. Basically just means durability. The longer you use a weapon by repairing, the more magic it absorbs from monsters and thus becomes stronger. It's said that when a weapon reaches its full strength, it can change to a more powerful form. Keep that in mind. Oh, I cast a spell on the dagger you have on you, so it'll never disappear. But all the new weapons you will get during the quest will disappear once they break, so be careful. Don't waste your hard work by letting a weapon break and disappear. Finally, the important stuff. The sphere, Atla, where I protected and sealed the fragments of the world. If you see an Atla, don't hesitate to touch it. You can absorb the contents of an Atla into Atlamilia by touching it. When you return to the surface, you will be able to begin reassembling these fragments of the world. Oops, today's lesson ran a little long. That's it for the lecture today. Now, Tone, show me your true ability on this quest. Yeah, this game definitely kind of holds your hand through most of the first dungeon, but if you get through it, you'll be fine. So, one big thing about dungeons. Oh, we have our first couple of enemies here. We have a skeleton soldier. And we have a dasher. We have two dashers, actually. Cool, killed them both at once. Fantastic. So, one big kick about the dungeons. I have no idea what the layout of this floor is, and neither will anyone else playing. The dungeon floors are randomized by floors. Even if you start on a floor, you leave the dungeon and come back, the floor will have a completely different layout than before. So every single floor on the dungeon is randomized. There we go, we get a map. And wind. Okay. I don't want to explain too much about the weapons because we are going to get more tutorials from the Fairy King, and he's probably going to repeat some of the shit I'm going to say. Luckily, once you beat the first dungeon, you won't have any tutorials through the rest of the game, which is very nice. Cave bats. You need to be very careful with these things. These can poison you if you let them hit you. Every single hit that they get off on you will have a chance to poison you, so try to avoid that if you can. There we get Macho's house. Alright. We get a poisonous apple. And right here we have another dasher. Right. Go. We have another Atlas sphere here and another treasure chest. We get some river, and we open this up. And we get power-up powder. Okay. Wow, I was honestly not expecting to get that yet. So, as you can see, the ABS down there, that's basically our weapon's experience. And every single time that fills up, you'll be able to build it up. The wind that we collected earlier, you can add it to your weapon, and it will increase how much power the wind attribute here has. You have 5 different attributes. You have fire, ice, thunder, wind, and holy. As you collect weapon attachments throughout the game, you will get some very, very nice add-ons. But for right now, we're just going to kind of leave that be, because it's almost level up, and I also don't want to focus on powering up the dagger that much. Because you really can't do shit with the dagger. The dagger is just your starting weapon. And yeah. Your dagger is your starting weapon. It's not going to do much damage. And as we go on, we will find more weapons. So I want to quickly go over the story of how freaking long it took me to set up this Let's Play. So, I had a lot of sound issues trying to record this. If you may have noticed, hopefully you haven't noticed, but if you have, sometimes when I'm on the menus, the sound effects will be echoing through my mic. I deeply apologize for that. I have spent hours adjusting my mic sensitivity, adjusting my TV volume, adjusting everything, and unfortunately the PlayStation 4 does not have a feature where I can have headphones in and my capture card will pick it up. So unfortunately I have to have the volume coming out of the TV itself for it to record it, and unfortunately the sound effect on the menus will always be picked up by my camera no matter how much I adjust the sensitivity or whatever. So unfortunately, if you guys are hearing that, I deeply apologize. Oh, and there's our Drance Crest. That's how we get to the next level. And, oh! I was not expecting to find one of these on the first floor. This is a big chest. These will, most of the time, these will contain weapons. So we have two options. We have use the treasure chest key or force the chest open by guessing the trap. Obviously, we don't have a treasure chest key, so we're going to have to guess the trap. And it can either be poison, explosion, or curse. If you get it wrong, it will set off the trap and you will be given whichever trap it gives you. If you guess it right, you will successfully open the chest without taking any precautions. And we're going to go ahead and guess poison, because that's definitely the worst of the three. And it was a curse. So it gives us curse, and all curse does is makes it so that you can't change weapons. Which honestly right now might be a pain in the ass. Gladius, alright, that's not a bad starting weapon. Yeah, so we get a slight attack boost, a bit of an endurance boost, taking a bit of a hit on speed, but we also get more magic power. And of course, I just say the curse isn't that bad, we get a new weapon, and we can't switch to it! Yay! Okay. Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with it for now. So, as you can see, looking on the map, we still have one area up there above the entrance that we have not explored yet. To give you a little bit of info about the map layout, the entrance of the floor is always green, and the exit of the floor is always yellow. And I will explain what that question mark up there is in just a little bit. Oh, that's the entrance. I'm like sitting here like, why is there a door in our way? Okay, so as you can see, the dagger has taken a lot of damage. So we'll go in here and we'll use some repair powder. That will completely restore its durability and we won't have to worry about it breaking. Take him out. Very nice. And oh wait, it said that the ABS was full. So we can go ahead, and once it's full, we can go ahead and just upgrade it. So now we get a slight boost on all of our stats. Very nice. Go ahead and take him out. Now this minecart right here. I don't want to explain this too much, because the Fairy King will give us a slight tutorial, but in order to use this, we need a special item that can only be found within treasure chests. I would go into a detailed explanation about that, but within a few floors we will be getting an explanation about it. And the Fairy King will go way too deep into it. I don't want to get too deep into it and not... I don't want to make you guys sit through an explanation twice, so I'll just wait and let the game explain it. And in here, we get the magical crystal. What that will do is show us enemies, treasure chests, and atmospheres that are still left on the map. Obviously, since we've already visited every room and killed all the enemies, opened the chests and everything, it's not going to show us anything. So we'll just go ahead and use Drance Crest and head out to the next floor. So, sorry, another yawn's coming on. Ugh. Okay, so every single time you complete a floor, you will be given this prompt. You can either go to the next floor immediately, or you can leave the dungeon temporarily. For right now, we're going to leave the dungeon. Seems like you finally came back with some Atla. Very well then, I shall teach you as I promised. Pieces sealed inside Atla are released by touching the Atla with your left hand where the power of Atlamilia resides. Buildings and people that were sucked into the Atlamilia will be restored to their original form. Once you bring them back to the ground level, you can arrange them as you wish. By going back and forth between the dungeon and ground level, you can restore the earth to its original form. That's your mission as the one who was granted the power of Atlamilia. Now, let us move on. This may get a bit technical. If you wanted to place buildings, etc., press the select button while walking and go into edit mode. Press the select button again to return to walking mode. In edit mode, you can reassemble buildings that have fallen apart and place them on the ground. Seeing is believing. Try it for yourself. Must be faster than listening to my lecture. Oh yes, and if you ever forget the things I teach you, use this. It gives us a manual. It's a guide for using Atlamilia and other things. I wrote it for beginners like you. Manual can be selected from the main menu. Read it carefully. Okay, I leave this world's reconstruction to you. I'll be watching. So long. So, that was the thing I accidentally activated earlier. This is called edit mode, and if we hit triangle, we will go directly into our menu right here. So, we have Macho's house as the first house that we have to place down. We'll go ahead and just place that right next to Divine Beast Cave right here. And then, all the houses will have different parts attached to them. So, for right here, we have Macho, who is one of the residents of Macho's house, obviously. As of right now, we don't have anything else. As you can see, there are all these question marks here. In order to activate those, we'll have to come down here and... Oh! These chests right here is what I was talking about earlier and what I was looking for in the mayor's house. If you approach these, they will all have random items inside of them. There we got bread. Right there we got tasty water. You want to be checking those anytime. Anytime you restore a house or anytime you add pieces to a house, you always want to check around and make sure that you get everything that you can, because those can have some very good items. So we'll come in here and let's go ahead and talk to Macho. Tone, I missed you, man. Your smile really brightens my day. And here, you're going to want to ask him, tell me how to rebuild your house. Look, don't forget to expand my room. And the barbell. Put that outside. So, he said he wanted a barbell and an extra room. Unfortunately, we don't have either of these. So, we're just going to have to progress more in the dungeon in order to activate, or not activate, in order to receive more parts to rebuild this town. For right now, we'll place a few things of road. Actually, I placed that one, so we'll go ahead and place that right here. We have a nice little road set up, and we just have Macho's house right here. Cool. So, we are given our mission, rebuilding the town, getting down to the bottom of Divine Beast Cave and telling Dran what happened. I think that's a good place to stop. So, next time on Dark Cloud, we're going to go back into Divine Beast Cave, continue on, and seeing what else we can do to restore the town of Norrune. Or the village of Norrune, whatever you want to... Oh my god, there's an actual voice. Holy shit. He actually has a voice. What the hell? Oh shit, Ralphie's down. Oh my god, Ralphie's down already. Shit. I don't want to even use the revivement. Fuck. And I still have it because I haven't saved since I fought the king.